Today's the worst day of my life. Today's the day that I turn my truck in. I between the shops and the insurance and everything else that goes with it, the payments, I went broke. Put it mildly, I just went broke. Got to turn my truck in. Love my truck. I tried my best. Luckily, I work for a guy who's good enough to put me in a company truck. But it doesn't change the fact that I fucking failed. Run my ass off a bit, stay out 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks at a time, sometimes more. Not only spend every penny I have, I went in debt. I owe this good man a lot of money. A lot of money. He's good enough to try. He's going to work with me. See if I can't get it paid back. Doesn't help the fact that I fucking failed. For all the truckers out there, I'll be out there with you. I'm trying to work it off. God bless you. Throw a peace sign up when you pass somebody. We all need it. I don't know what else to say. I don't deal with failure well, and I failed in a grandiose fashion, man. Crash and burn like I'd never done in my life. Stay blessed. Remember, put God first. I love you. Peace. I'm out.
Another company shuts down? Seriously? 300 trucks? 575 trailers? Let me give you the information. Another one shuts down, and this time it's LTI Trucking Services out of Madison, Illinois. And just like that, 250 drivers are out of a job. To their credit, LTI told drivers they won't be left stranded. The company worked with the bank to get trucks and drivers back home. That's the bare minimum, but still more than what some companies do. LTI has been around since 2005, over 20 years on the road, gone in a blink. According to FreightWaves, this wasn't just bad luck. It's a sign of what's happening across the industry. Freight rates are down, fuel costs are up, insurance and interest is through the roof, and the banks are definitely pulling back. LTI is not the first, and it definitely won't be the last. We've seen a wave of companies, big and small, shutting down in the last year. This economy is squeezing everyone, but trucking is getting hit hard. Now, if you're one of those 250 drivers, please feel free to reach out. I can definitely help with my connections and posting it internally.
Hello, my friends. How are you doing out there today? I hope you're doing well in the middle of Donald Trump's failed economic and trade policies. More and more American industries are beginning to get hit by the problems that Donald Trump is creating all by himself. So yesterday, we talked a little bit about Mack Trucks in Pennsylvania laying off quite a few employees, and they specifically cited tariffs as the reason they were doing that. And in the video, I had said this is going to be one of the signals, sort of marks the beginning of problems coming to the trucking industry in America, mainly because they're saying that their demand is down and the tariffs are killing them. And if demand is down, that means companies are not swapping out their trucks as often as they used to. Things like that are causing their demand to be down. And I said this signals the beginning of the downfall of the trucking industry. So we're going to talk about that today. For those of you that don't know, I am a truck driver. I'm sitting in my truck right now. I know this industry pretty well, and I was here the last time Donald Trump crashed it through denying COVID, which maybe we'll talk a little bit about in this video. I'll give you a little history lesson on how all that went down. But I want you to understand something. I am not a Donald Trump supporter. I've never voted for Donald Trump. I've never flown a MAGA flag anywhere in my life. As a matter of fact, I've always known that he offers absolutely nothing to working working class Americans. And I want to point that out before somebody puts me in one of those fuck around and find out memes on the internet. I never voted for that son of a bitch in my life. I know I look like a dumb hick, but I don't always act like one. I don't always act like one, okay, my friend? So, yeah, don't turn me into a goddamn meme on the internet, all right? I've always been against this bastard. Anyways, we have got major problems coming down the line for trucking. I said in yesterday's video that we tend to lag behind the economy because a lot of things are shipped in on the shipping containers. That takes time, according to one of my viewers, around 20 days to make that trek. And then we move everything that's already come in, and that takes us, you know, a week to move it across the entire country. And that causes this huge lag before we really start to feel the effects of what is going on. And now we're starting to see it in the shipping, in the ports, all the products coming into America. And pretty soon here, that's going to affect trucking in a very, very negative way. And the vast majority of truck drivers, for some fucking reason, vote for Donald Trump overwhelmingly. And it's unfortunate that I'm probably going to get hit by this too, but I've always said since the beginning of this that unfortunately we're going to have to go through these bad times, because maybe in the future, if we survive this, people will be more responsible with their fucking votes. But I don't really know. But one of my viewers is also a truck driver, said he noticed that he works out of the ports, and said that he has noticed a significant slowdown over there, which I thought was interesting news. But what I thought was even more interesting was I was talking to another truck driver that didn't have his head all the way up Donald Trump's ass. And that was truly the most shocking part of the entire conversation. So shout out to that guy for getting his head on straight too. I don't know if he was ever supporting Trump or not, but apparently not now. So that's good news. Anyways, the ports are definitely starting to slow down, and there is some metrics you can track to see this. And one of those is called, what was it called? Hold on. I had to go look it up because I keep forgetting the term, but it's called blank sailing. And blank sailing means that there are shipping ships out there that are skipping over ports because they don't have enough product going to that specific port. So they just move on to the next one. Or I guess from what I read, it's entirely possible that the entire ship gets canceled because there's just not enough freight to move. And that is the biggest metric that we are seeing now. And that is going to hit the ports. According to the experts, it's really going to get bad right around the 1st of May. And that means all the truck drivers that are hauling out of those ports to provide goods to the American population are going to quickly find themselves out of a fucking job, no work to do whatsoever. Now, there are a lot of short-sighted, small-minded people out there that go, well, what's that got to do with me? I don't haul shit out of them ports. Well, you got to think of all the displaced truckers now.
Guys, tell me why I just looked on TikTok like for the first time today, and all I see on my For You page is the President of the United States answering questions about, do he think that the tariffs on China was a good idea based on the fact that the ports are literally running empty and truck drivers are losing their jobs. Donald Trump answered the question without hesitation this time. I know sometimes Trump, he won't just come right out and answer the question. He answered the question this time. He said it's okay. He said it's okay. He's basically saying that it's okay for the ports to run empty like they are. He's also saying that it's okay for the truck drivers to lose their jobs because more money is coming into the U.S. with the tariffs. Now, I will say this. That is correct. There's more money coming into the U.S. with the tariffs, but at what cost? Thousands of truck drivers losing their jobs. Now, I just witnessed this firsthand about truck drivers. I'm coming up the highway just now before I started this TikTok, picking my little ones up from school, and I see semis on the highway, but not as aggressive as I'm usually seeing them on the highway, which means a lot of these truck drivers are starting to get laid off and starting to lose their jobs, man, because it looks like the money that's being pulled into the United States from the tariffs, it's going to bring more money to the U.S., but it's not bringing any jobs to the U.S. So let me know what you guys think of this right here. Like, he said it right out of his own mouth. I mean, I watched the clips to make sure that it wasn't edited, it wasn't jump cuts, it wasn't chopped. It was original content straight from the president. He said that he's okay with the ports being the way that they are and truck drivers losing their jobs because more money is coming to the U.S. I would normally try to stitch his video into my video, But y'all know TikTok is changing the rules where it has to be your own original content. So on my TikTok, I try not to do that. But let me know what you guys think of that, man. That's crazy because some of these truck drivers that's been affected could be a loved one of yours, a husband, a dad, granddad, a close relative, brother or sister. So it's gonna get real. I mean, this is just the beginning, and Trump's not letting up either. That's the wild thing.
Belt tightening because of President Trump's tariffs, with hard-hit truckers taking another blow. Layoffs are beginning in the trucking industry as American ports are seeing a big drop in cargo ship arrivals, meaning less to haul across our country.
Next to a bunch of truck chassis because they're parked and they're not in use. And look on the other side there. They're stacked up, and in this truck yard alone, there are about 100 chassis stacked up because they don't need them. They're typically out on the roadways. Like everyone else along America's massive supply chain, truckers expect things to go from bad to worse.
This yard costs us money, this equipment costs us money, our chassis costs us money, our employees cost us money, electricity costs us money, right? So after 6 months, I would say we would be in pretty dire situations. And that's just us. And there's hundreds of companies like us who would probably be in this, most likely be in the same situation, if not worse.
When the ports are empty, the truckers have no loads to fill their trucks. My husband is a trucker, and he has no work for the foreseeable future. There's no shipping containers coming into the ports. And I saw an interview yesterday. Trump said, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we have no business to do because that makes China lose money. Hey, we're losing money too, bro. Like, what are you talking about? It's a good thing. It's a good thing that there's no shipping containers at the ports and there's no goods being delivered across the country. How is that a good thing? Truckers overwhelmingly voted for Trump, and now he's saying that it's a good thing that all of our families are in ruin and we don't have work and there's no shipping containers going to the entire United States. That's a good thing? I mean, is he fucking crazy?
121,000 jobs. Let that sink in. Many news outlets are now reporting that since Trump took office 3 months ago, 121,000 federal employees have been fired. So this is the president who claims he's going to create more jobs. And he's coming out of the starting gate with a negative number, 121,000 jobs. He and Doge have eliminated, and they haven't stopped yet. And you know, I don't care if they're federal jobs. Jobs are jobs. If the federal government can create jobs for people to give them a livelihood, then so be it. And many of these federal jobs are in ruby red states. And many of the people who have lost their jobs are MAGA and Trump supporters. There's a difference. You know, the MAGA are cult. And you're also got Republicans and then independents. I mean, he is completely destroying not only his future, but the future of the Republican Party. Just remember that, folks. It's not even May 1st. More than 121,000 jobs Donald Trump has fired, and it's him. The buck stops at Donald Trump. He has fired 121,000 Americans, thinking he's magically going to get companies to shut down their factories overseas and suddenly build them overnight over here. And, you know, it'll be like a Mardi Gras, and, you know, it'll just be jobs, jobs, jobs forever. Yeah. Not one company is shutting down their factory to move here to the United States.
I was a Trump supporter. You know, when he talks about government waste and all that, yes, I'm behind it. I believe there is a lot of stuff in the government that needs fixing. And that's part of the reason why I actually wanted to work for the government, actually, to help change the things that are wrong in the world, you know? And I thought that someone with like his business acumen would have come in with a fine-tooth comb and actually found it, instead of coming in with a wrecking ball and destroying people's lives for no reason.
This is not just about truckers being laid off. That's just the first domino effect in all of this. When truckers start being laying off, the supply chain freezes. The prices go up. And then companies start to cut costs. And guess what that means? That means more layoffs. So what that means for us? That means that in the near future, prices are going to be sky high, and we're going to begin to see our shelves empty. So here's how to prepare. Cut non-essential spending. Start saving some money because things are about to get sky high and you're going to need more money. Right now, also, you can start to buy stuff in bulk. While it's not expensive, stock up on the things that you may need because we may not even be able to get no supplies at all. This is not fear-mongering. This is a reality. And if we didn't learn nothing in 2008, what we learned is that the people who prepared early, they made it through that crisis easier. Y'all, right now, are y'all prepared for a recession? A recession can hit us as early as the summer. Have y'all been following this, and are you prepared?
Trucking has completely went flat bottom, man. I can honestly tell you these past 3 weeks, this is including the third week that I'm in right now, you get a few runs here and there. I'm in Chicago, right? And it's getting bad. You know, I don't know, what do you tell your drivers, right? You just give them the whole concept of be patient. Obviously, watching the news, I'm not only a truck driver, I own trucks. I got drivers, man, you know? I don't know what else to say or do. Obviously, Trump is doing what he needs to do, right? On paper, it looks good. It looks right. But we're going to have to try to weather the tide, you know what I'm saying? But, man, I mean, it's getting bad, right? And I know a lot of people in other businesses that are complaining too, right? Everybody's watching the news, waiting for this whole situation to die down with this whole tariff thing back and forth. And I don't see no end.
We are going to make trucking great again. We must get rid of all of the turbine Suburbans. If you know speaking English, sorry, no truckie for you. No more washing your feet in the sink or taking baths in the toilet. Absolutely no goats allowed. That's what lot lizards are for. These people are sick.